Yeah, well, first, I'm just excited to be together in person because after so many years pandemic setting, it's nice to be together as a spiritual community. With integration, I think of it as just inviting all of our parts together. I think so much of spirituality or spiritual traditions, or at least the mystical traditions I come from, emphasizes spirituality that mistakes essence is the only reality, that what is ultimate is the only reality. And I think we sort of forget our egos. We look at the ultimate and we forget the personal, or we look at what's infinite, the universal God, and then we forget about our sort of personal and finite selves. And so I think when it comes to integration, it's ultimately about embracing every aspect of our being that's our true self and our false self and our big mind and our small mind and our ego and our essence. And what does it mean to be a full-bodied being, a full-spirited being, by not sort of pushing away that sort of human nature that doesn't feel so spiritual all the time. I think as spiritual companions, in particular, how are we embracing both aspects of ourselves, both our universal self and our shared being, and embracing our finite nature, our mistakes, our little selves? Because if spiritual directors, if companions mistakenly live in just the world of ultimates, and we're always subtly trying to invite spiritual directees to only touch their roots or only touch their being, then I think we're doing a disservice. We really want to invite people to live, to know their roots, to know our shared being, to know our ultimate essence, but to also live from the branches of our finite self, to live into the storms of life. I just love the tree metaphor, that like our spiritual practice is about going to the roots of our being and grounding us in that shared universal being. But that doesn't mean that the storms go away. Like, we do close our eyes in meditation and prayer, and we go to our essence, but the storms are still there. And so as spiritual directors, I think it's our role to sort of navigate these two worlds for those that we serve. How can we encourage them to close their eyes, to remember themselves, to remember their deep self? And then how do we invite them to open their eyes and recognize, the storms are still there, the world is still chaotic, there's still division, but we're operating from that centered self, that grounded self, that rooted self, without denying the reality that's so messy, that's all around us, that we all feel. Well, I do hope you join us May 29th through the 31st at the Niagara Falls Convention Center, a weekend of contemplative teaching, a weekend of contemplative practice, and a weekend of contemplative community.